Hey everyone, welcome to Flavor Talk with the Barbecue Pro Shop Factory team. I'm co-host Brian Neal, aka Mr. Freak of Smoke Freaks Barbecue.
And I'm Ann Neal, Ms. Freak, and together we're the tongues and testers behind the flavor guide at Barbecue Pro Shop, the world's first seasonings decoder and online buying guide. And joining us is our partner in flavor going all the way back to 2019, Jeff Belmonte, owner of Barbecue Pro Shop. Hey, Jeff, what's up?
Not much. Good to be here tonight.
Indeed. Happy fall, my friend. Let's kick this sucker off and get rolling.
Very excited for the 2025 list. Let's go.
Yeah, tonight is my favorite Flavor Talk of the year because it's way different from our usual format. So, Ms. Freak, why don't you kick us off and tell them all about tonight's show?
Yep. Well, tonight I'm freaking stoked for tonight's episode because we are about to announce our 2025 Barbecue Pro Shop Essential Seasonings List. So every year, Mr. Freak and I evaluate dozens and dozens of seasonings as we're developing the factory team flavor guide. And this list of winners that we are about to reveal consists of 12, that's right, 12 standout seasonings that simply blew us away this year.
So, what makes a seasoning essential, you might ask? Well, we are talking about flavors that struck us as incredible, no-brainer rubs to recommend to our friends, our family, and tonight, recommend to you as well. We are talking about the flavors that landed in the front row of our home space cabinet and the rubs that we've reached for time and time again this year. Now, this lineup you're about to see covers a massive range of barbecue, grilling, and general cooking use cases. And if you've got them in your arsenal, I guarantee you're going to impress some folks.
So real quick, some background on our flavor guide, which follows a systematic methodology that we developed back in 2020 to help people discover new flavors. Everything we test is blinded, and that means we don't know what the product is that we're testing until after we've put it through 3 different flavor tests and recorded 24 data points and a ton of notes.
And then we synthesize all that data into one simple visual that decodes and quantifies every rub across the 4 key flavor dimensions. That's salt, sweet, savory, and heat. And that lets you instantly understand the flavor experience you're going to get before you buy it. On top of that, we give you our unvarnished thoughts about what we experienced in our testing and our best advice on how to get the most out of over 425 different products. It's an awesome tool for buying seasonings online, and it's only available at Barbecue Pro Shop. And with that, let's get into the first batch of our 12 essential seasonings for 2025. And along the way, we'd love to get your comments and reactions so we can share them and show the folks behind these awesome products some love. Let's roll that first big reveal.
First up is an SCA steak favorite and an all-around banger, Disruption Spicy All-Purpose Rub from Rick Manzi and Anonymous Q Barbecue. Rocking a 3-2-4-4 flavor profile, this one starts with a luxurious savory wave, and it's packed with buttery umami notes and a bit of spice that builds a little with each bite. Absolutely outstanding. Congratulations, Rick, for your Essential Seasonings Award for Disruption Spicy AP Rub.
Yeah, we're huge fans of the whole Anonymous Q lineup. And I got to say, the Disruption Spicy is super easy to reach for people like me who need a little kick in their life. Jeff, let's see that next one. And flying out of the coop is a rub with killer flavors, beautiful color, and extreme balance. That's right, it's Texas Sweet Grind from Bill Purvis and Chicken Fried Barbecue. This 3-3-3-3 flavor profile is perfectly balanced, and it's great all by itself or layered into your favorite competition barbecue recipe. Congrats, Bill! Your Texas Sweet Grind Rub is an instant classic in our book.
And I gotta say, there's just something about that 3333 flavor profile. It just plain works. And this one is classic barbecue flavor at its best. So, Jeff, let's see what's next. Next up is one of the latest seasonings from reigning Memphis and May world champion Heath Riles Barbecue. Buckle up for a wild ride of familiar flavors with his lemon pepper buffalo seasoning. This 2223 flavor profile has a big citrus burst that sits on top of a nice cayenne pepper warmth, and it's totally addictive. Congratulations, Heath, Mitchell, and the Heath Riles Barbecue crew. Your lemon pepper buffalo seasoning is in our Essential Seasonings Hall of Fame for 2025.
Yeah, so the obvious use case for this one is going to be wings. But let me tell you, if you're like me, you're going to end up using this to wake up all kinds of boring things, from cauliflower to popcorn, especially if you're into that buffalo flavor profile like I am. Let's roll that next one, Jeff. Oh yeah, there are so many great AP seasonings out there that build on top of the magic of salt and pepper. But Local Yokels Barbecue really blew us away with their Salt of the Earth. We've used this 4242 seasoning on hamburgers, steak, pork chops, chicken, and seafood, and it truly is one of those blends that's great on everything. Matter of fact, we are already into our second bottle this year. Congrats, Brad. Your Salt of the Earth is essential in our book.
So I've been analyzing the ingredients on this one to figure out what makes it so darn special, and I'm going with the green onion powder. It's not really an ingredient that we see a lot, but man, does it work some magic. And with that, let's see what's next, Jeff. Clocking in next is a brand making their first appearance on our Essential Seasonings list. All Day Sweet from Drew Davis and Razor Racks Barbecue. This 2322 flavor profile adds up to a complex sweet rub, thanks to the cinnamon, turmeric, and lemon peel in the blend. We love how the sweetness has just enough salt, savory, and spice to balance it out. Congrats, Drew, on your Essential Seasonings Award for All Day Sweet.
Yeah, this one, super easy recommendation for any kind of classic barbecue, because you're going to get such amazing color from that caramelized sugar, really no matter what kind of equipment you're running. And it's also great to mix into your pulled pork to add that pop of flavor before you mix it all up and start serving it out. And with that, let's wrap up the first half of our Essentials lineup. Go ahead and open up the red envelope, Jeff. And here comes a real twister of flavor that'll blow your taste buds away with powerful, salty, savory notes and a bold 3143 flavor profile. That's Texas Tornado, an awesome collab from those barbecue heavyweights, Boar's Night Out and Sweet Swine O' Mine. Now this one we hear is made for steak, but we've found that that's really just the starting point. And I love the underlying sweetness that hides in the background while tying that whole blend together. Congrats to Eric, Alan, and Mark on your Essential Texas Tornado.
And that rounds out the first half of this year's Essential Seasonings list. So how about we take a short break, post up some comments, and then we'll finish up the second half in just a few minutes.
Whew, man.
Wow.
So, talk about an all-star lineup. Seriously, in that batch of seasonings, you've got makers who represent truly the cream of the crop when it comes to competition cooking.
Big
and
winner.
you know, I'm sorry, go ahead, Jeff.
Big winners in there, that's for sure.
Yeah, and you know, 10 or 15 years ago, seasonings like these tended to be closely guarded secrets that really just weren't available to the rest of us. And that's why Jeff and Barbecue Pro Shop really made it their mission over the years to bring craft seasonings like these to the masses, which really lets all of us flavor like a pro.
Absolutely. You know, I think that's the key, right? Is that You have one place where you can buy everything, and all of these 2025 essentials are now on sale at the site. We've discounted every single one so you could buy them individually. You can also, there's a whole category of all the past essentials and our existing ones that you can check out on the website. And there's going to be an entire 2025 essentials pack launching just minutes after we do this. So you can buy all 12 of them at once, have them delivered to your door, and see what the freaks have been freaking out about.
Oh, we're freaking out, all right, in a good way.
In a good way,
So
always.
let's see who we've got on the stream tonight. Seems like we got a bunch of folks here. Blazing Stars here, Rick Manzi, Charles Melodosian. What's up, Charlie? Good to see you.
Got
Tim
Char-
Perkins in the house. How, my friend? We got
Rick.
Southern Char.
And Rick, thank you for joining us. Congrats on your award.
Way to go, man. And congrats on tearing it up all year. You and the whole Disruption team just really doing impressive stuff out on the SCA circuit.
Yep. And Southern Char Seasonings, thank you for joining. We have tested some of these and tried these. These are not available at Barbecue Pro Shop right now, but these are some good flavors as well. Thank you for tuning in, like your new rub as well. Ken.
Just got our hands on them in that garlic butter rub. Oh, yeah.
Ken, thank you for your support. Thanks for being here. I don't remember which, I think this was Salt of the Earth, maybe? I'm not sure which one, but yeah. And hey, Blazing Star mentioning that great collab between Boar's Night Out and Sweet Swine of Mine. That's a nice one.
Yeah, you don't see a whole ton of that where you got two different banger brand names on the label. And really cool to see these guys having worked together. We had the Boar's Night Out guys on the show a few weeks ago and got to hear all about it. But brand new this year and absolutely killing it.
So good.
Well, what do you say, guys? Do you want to move on to the rest of this year's list?
I think we should, because the suspense is killing me.
Yeah, and you even know what's on the list.
Oh, I just
Jeff, let's tee them up.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Kicking off the rest of the Essentials lineup is one of those perfectly balanced masterpieces that makes you say wow from the first taste. Sweet Mesquite Pecan from Ricky and BPOS Barbecue. That 3333 flavor profile sure adds a nice smoky vibe for an extra dimension of classic barbecue flavors. So congratulations, Ricky, on your Essential Seasonings Award for your Sweet Mesquite Pecan Rub.
Yeah, folks, I'm going to tell you, we made several rounds of ribs with this sweet mesquite, and we did it in our pellet cooker, and they were absolutely the bomb every time. The color you get, absolutely phenomenal, and with every bite, you get a little bit of all of those flavors that make it perfectly balanced. But really, don't stop there. It's an extremely versatile rub. Let's see, Jeff, what is the next flavor for us to savor? Oh, yeah. Here's a sweet treat that takes me all the way back to those butterscotch candies my mom always had in the candy dish. We are talking about Pirate's Pleasure from Sterling Smith at Luton Booty Barbecue. It is intriguing, intoxicating, and it's otherworldly with its absolutely unique 2532 flavor profile that stands way out from the pack. Congrats, Sterling. We are mighty stoked about ye old's Pirate Pleasure.
Seriously, folks, this is one of the sweetest rubs in our entire flavor guide, and it's amazing. We do recommend adding it late in your cooking process so you preserve all that buttery rum flavor. So, Jeff, how about we roll on to the next one? This next one is an instant masterpiece that can handle any barbecue or grilling scenario. It's none other than sweet garlic from JDQ Barbecue. It's a marvelous blend that puts a killer twist on classic barbecue flavors, and it rocks a 2333 flavor profile. We just love that nice smoky backbeat. Congrats, Josh, on your 2025 Essential Seasonings Award for your sweet garlic rub.
Now, I'm going to give y'all a sleeper use case for this one because I don't want you thinking it's only for barbecue. So what you do is get yourself a couple tablespoons of this stuff and mix it with a little bit of oil. Then marinate your shrimp in it before you throw it on the Blackstone or on the grill. And you can thank me later. Mix Master J, let's see what's next. And blazing a trail into the lineup comes some serious star power for everything you can think of. It's all in one from Mike Star and Blazing Star Barbecue. With a flavor profile of 2133, this sugar-free blend is packed with great color, chunky black pepper, and lots of herbs. Congrats, Mike, for this well-deserved award for your all-in-one seasoning.
I gotta say, this one has broad appeal, and I find myself reaching for it all the time, really, especially when it comes for high temp cooking on the stove or the grill. And that low salt load is a welcome feature for me as well. What's up next, Jeff?
Glad you asked.
This is a first because there's never been a flavor maker with two seasonings on our essentials list at the same time until now. But here comes Local Yokels Barbecue with a second appearance for their fantastic Sweet Salvation rub. We gave it a 2-3-3-2 on the flavor guide and just love how their flavors are rich, complex, and a little mysterious. Congratulations, Brad, for another 2025 Essential Seasonings Award for Sweet Salvation.
Now, if any of you guys are looking for your next low and slow secret weapon, here it is. And maybe stack it on top a little of that salt of the earth, and you are on your way to barbecue glory. And with that, let's reveal the final spot on this year's list. And closing out the 2025 Essential Seasonings is a blend that Ms. Freak described as pretty much as perfect a flavor as you can get. We're talking about that amazing chicken rub from Smokin' Magic. This 2-3-3-3 flavor profile sports fantastic balance, classic flavors, and a smoky vibe with just enough citrus to add a little brightness. But it's so much more than a chicken rub, so don't stop there. It's great on pork chops, complements fish beautifully, and it never fails to tickle my uvula. Congrats to Bree and Brad. Your chicken rub is the final winner in our 2025 Essential Seasonings Bonanza.
And there you have it, folks, our 2025 list of essential seasonings. So congratulations again to Anonymous Q Barbecue with that Disruption Spicy AP Rub, Chicken Fried Barbecue, Texas Sweet Grind, Heath Riles Barbecue, Lemon Pepper Buffalo Seasoning, Local Yokels Barbecue with that Salt of the Earth, and Razor Racks Barbecue All Day Sweet, Boar's Night Out, and Sweet Swine of Mine with Texas Tornado, The Nader, BPOS Barbecue, Sweet Mesquite Pecan, and Loot and Booty Barbecue, Pirate's Pleasure, our JDQ Barbecue, Sweet Garlic, Blazing Star Barbecue with that all-in-one, Local Yokels Barbecue, Sweet Salvation, and Smokin' Magic Chicken Rub.
Yeah.
And
There
that
they
is the list. We truly reach for these things all year long. And, you know, the bottles go pretty quick when they're at the very front row of the spice cabinet. Because, and I tell you, we got about 400 or so in our cabinet. And the ones in the back, you know, you got to really dig to get to them. Now, I would love to hear from anyone if you've got some suggestions on what to put any of these on, your favorite combinations, what you like to stack them up with, or your favorite ways to use them. Because, you know, we're all about sharing the advice, sharing the love, and there's just no way we get to try every single seasoning on everything there is that you can eat.
It's a lot of combinations.
I know. The S&P, though, I mean, anything that's got that balance profile, you can really count on using it all by itself. And it's something that we kind of got away from in our competition careers,
Yeah.
just because you get into this routine where you're always using a base rub, then you got your color rub, then you got your flavor rub. And we just got to where, even if we're just cooking something simple at home, we're always putting 3 rubs on it. And this year we really took some time to get back to basics with some of these essential seasonings and use them all by themselves. That salt of the earth, like I mentioned earlier, I mean, it's just, you can just leave it by the stovetop, because you can shake it on pretty much everything. You can use it early in the process, late in the process. Heck, you could probably just put it in a shaker on the table and make your whole family happy, because that stuff is addictive.
Just
How
sneak
about you, Ann? What's
just
one of your
sneak in.
favorites?
Yeah, I think you sneak it in, and who knows? They'll love it. I know. Yeah. You mentioned this guy. This is, you can see we just have a tiny bit left. This is one of the seasonings that we ran, I think Brian mentioned, in our pellet cooker at Rib Camp. And this was just a demonstration of what's a 3-3-3-3 flavor profile all about. And I think we had a comment here. I think Mike, yeah, he noticed one of the 3-3-3-3s. It's a real special profile. And I noticed as we were going through our list that we've got some, a good set of balanced rubs, but then we have those ones that are savory leaning, or in the Pirate's Pleasure case, sweet leaning. And yep. And just a lot of variety. But
Yeah, I gotta plug this Pirate's Pleasure, because it's truly the most unique seasoning in our lineup this year, and it's meant to be that. This is not a rub you're gonna probably put on everything, and your family's gonna get tired of it. But you can use this in a lot of different ways. For our flavor guide testing, we're testing things absolutely concentrated. So there's nothing else mixed in with it. We're just getting the full blast of everything that seasoning has to offer. And in the case of Pirate's Pleasure, it's just unreal. And I think, your average use is going to be using this more as a late ingredient to give it just that special note that your guests or your family is just going to go, wow, that's something really different, without completely overloading them and trying to give them candy. Now, if candy is the goal, that's where I'm going to say you can get really creative with this stuff. Like, Ann makes a bunch of Christmas cookies every year, and she's got all these different sprinkles that she uses. I bet you, if you were to sprinkle some of this on top of your snickerdoodles, people are going to lose their minds. You heard it here, folks. Cookie topper, Pirate's Pleasure, tastes like rum.
Mr. Freak, you just told me yesterday that my Thanksgiving menu and approach was rather ambitious. So we haven't even gotten to the holiday cookies yet. You're going to think that's really ambitious, but you might have a good idea there. Now, with that Pirate's Pleasure, I would add that to ribs or pork or whatever at the wrap, and also as a finishing. That's what I'd do.
Ooh, I like
Who's
that.
got that blazing star? Oh yeah, I do. It's right here.
Yeah.
And Mr. Star, I got to give you props. This is not your first time on our list.
Nope.
You've come out with just banger after banger after banger. And these are ones that often get into our family stockings, because they're just super accessible. My mom loves them. My brothers love them. Their kids love them. So thanks, man. Keep them coming.
Absolutely. They're special.
Jeff, what's a standout for you on the list?
I am a huge fan of spicy all-purpose rubs. And so that Disruption Spicy, I was really happy to see that on there. I got a sample from Rick back when we started carrying the line earlier in the year. And it's replaced so many. I mean, it's like, I was a huge fan of Kickin' Pit Grit from Pit of Heaven. I was a huge fan of the Climax XX from Hottie Toddy. I mean, that's like every year there's one that just stays in my cabinet. But this year, that's spicy, because it really has a really nice hit of heat. And that's something that I think are sometimes lost in some of those spicy rubs. When it says spicy, it's not always as spicy as I like it. So that one's an absolute favorite of mine.
Yeah, that one has the has the heat score of 4 on our flavor guide scale. And, that does not mean that it's, making you crazy, making you sweat, making you reach for a glass of milk or
That's a good
or beer, which you shouldn't do when you do eat something seriously spicy.
Yeah,
It's
but it's a step up from kind of your
Yeah.
average barbecue seasoning, which most of them shoot right for the middle of the road. And that's why we've got so many with a heat profile of 3. You get into the 4s, and those are typically going to be the ones the makers were intentionally making a little bit spicy. But almost nobody out there is trying to melt your face off, except for the very few number of seasonings in our lineup that have that heat score of 5. And, those are not rubs most people are using every day. But a 4, perfectly tolerable for the average adult. And, even most kids can handle it just fine. Just maybe lay off it a little bit. But something like that, disruption spicy, try shaking a little bit on some French fries or whatever potato thing you're doing in your air fryer. It's super good for that. Out on the competition trail, I got turned on to the stuff by the Wisconsin posse, the Cheese Curd Cartel, and some of those guys. And they're using like 5 or 6 different products from the Anonymous Cube lineup. They really stack well together, and we encourage y'all to give them a try.
So anybody who wants to shig a little, here's Rick letting us know it's his first layer for steak, ribs, and brisket.
Ooh, ribs.
There you go. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I really like using a spicier AP on that first level, on that first layer, because you get really 2 things going on. Number one, that salt that's in there, that dissolves first, starts kind of working its way down into those proteins, relaxing things a little bit. But those spice flakes, whatever kind of pepper it's coming from, those aren't going to dissolve. That's not what they do. They're not water soluble. So they stick to that top layer of the meat, and most times give you that little bit of back end kick that we all associate with classic American barbecue. So, Rick, thanks for that one. It is awesome.
Yeah, that all day from Razor Racks also. I agree with you on that. I've used that on ribs in the past. I've used it on pork. The color is phenomenal, and it really, really drives a really delicious flavor. Really good sweet flavor.
I love the texture on that one. Yeah. It's just such an interesting grind. I mean, there's a lot of sugars in the blend, obviously, but there's just something about it's a very light color. You might not think it's going to lay down a beautiful color on ribs, but boy, as things cook and things caramelize, this is beautiful.
Yeah, one thing I like to do when, once we've revealed these seasonings and we've got them all graded, I like to kind of look into what do the makers typically smoke on. And we've known Drew from Razor Racks from years. He's a big offsite guy, or at least he was back when we were competing with him and often losing to him weekend after weekend. So this, we knew right away, this is going to work out really good with like those Jambo pork cooks where we're really putting that black meteorite, building a nice bark on it. And we tried it in that application. Some of the best pulled pork we made all seasoning. Hey, we got an international viewer tonight. Brandon. Blue Island Brandon is in the house.
From I was Mexico. Just in here.
Now in Mexico, formerly of Blue Island. And man, just a couple of weeks ago, I was out there downtown with my mom, taking her out to dinner, thinking about old times. Miss you, brother. Hope we get to see you soon.
Ooh, here's an idea.
Oh, yeah.
Pirate's Pleasure on the Thanksgiving yams. Now, is it a yam or is it a sweet potato, Mike? What's the difference?
2 different things.
Come on.
Come on. Don't you know you're Kendrick Lamar? What's the yams?
Well, I know that kind of yams.
It's not the same as a sweet potato, but I think he is absolutely right.
He's right.
It is a perfect pairing for something like that. You got your marshmallows. Maybe you're going to be drizzling some maple syrup in there or whatever, but that butter rum flavor, I think that's our second Thanksgiving twist up there. Ms. Freak, let me ask you, we got a Thanksgiving turkey coming up that we're going to be smoking. Yeah. And, y'all have known us a while. We always spatchcock those things. It's just the easy way to go. Super hard to mess it up. and we haven't decided what we're going to put on it yet. So what do you think? Top 2 on the list for Thanksgiving turkey?
There's got to be some salt of the earth on that bird. And there's got to be some chicken rub from Smokin' Magic. And I'm not saying that because it's, a poultry, thing. And because it says chicken, there's that brightness about it that is super interesting to me. And I think that combination will be really cool. But what about you, Mr. Freak? We haven't even talked about this. I mean, we're not limited to only these 12 because we do like to layer. And sometimes when we spatchcock, one half gets one program and the other half gets another.
We have done the split personality turkey more than once. This year we got some folks coming in, so we may even do two turkeys. We're definitely doing one on the drum, Brandon, and if we roll a second one, that one's going to go on the Rectech, because why not? Never cooked a turkey on the Rectech, but I do like the idea of set it and forget it.
You got a second turkey showing up? Wait, I didn't know about that.
Well,
I'm in charge of the turkey, and I got one.
Well, you've already picked the rubs for one, and now I'm thinking, well, what about what I want to use? So I'm sitting here thinking, all right, pellet grilled turkey, that one's going to get we're going to brine it first of all. So that's going to happen for, nice dry brine will probably go at least 36 hours. Then all that, wiping it down, and I think we're going to go with, for sure, that sweet mesquite pecan SMP, just so I got something that's a little bit different than what you got going on that other one. I know we got the sweetness covered on the sides with that pirate pleasure. So I'm thinking it's going to be a great Thanksgiving.
It is going to be a great Thanksgiving, but I don't think you heard me. We have one turkey showing up on Tuesday, and you mentioned there's the second turkey that I don't know anything about. So just heads up.
It's in the freezer, man. We better take that thing out today, or it's going to be hard as a rock still. In our garage freezer this time of year, we found that 4 pounds a day thing, that's not even close. We had one that took 10 days to thaw. So this one, it didn't get done till halfway toward Christmas. But Brandon's asking on the drum, are we going to be using a water pan? And the answer is absolutely we are. Not because you have to, but because I like gravy. So what we do is we use that water pan about 2 clicks below our top rack where that turkey's sitting. So we filled it up with, I think it's probably 2 of those quart size chicken broth containers, unless we got some left out in the freezer from last year, which I think we do. We can probably use last year's carcass broth. But that goes in the pan when you first start cooking. Otherwise, what happens is, we're cooking at 350, 375 with our turkey. We want to get that skin nice and crispy. So at that kind of temperature, with your water pan taking the broad side of that direct heat, you got to have some liquid in there before you start, or else every drop that hits the pan just turns black and evaporates right away. So get you a nice base of your broth in there, or thin it down with a little bit of water. We're usually throwing in, the celery chunks and the carrots and things like that, just to get that broth nice and rich for that 3.5 hour cook. And then we got what we need to make that amazing gravy.
Yeah, we were going through the menu, and I mentioned, okay, so there's smoked turkey, and we're going to have mashed potatoes and gravy. And Brian stops me. Gravy? We're spatchcocking. How are we going to have gravy? I'm like, don't worry. We're going to get gravy. We're going to get the drippings, and I'm going to make it on the stove, and it's going to be fine. So this is interesting. Mike at Blazing Star talking about this amazing turkey hung on a drum. We did that, hanging a whole turkey on a drum in our very early days. I think, was that the pit barrel days?
Yeah, it was really our first real barbecue smoker. And, I'm using that word for what it's worth. The pit barrel is kind of an entry-level smoker that it will really teach you fire management, because you've got to really pay attention. It's kind of like driving a hot rod that doesn't have a speedometer or a brake pedal. But what we did, and I didn't know better. I thought everything you do in there, you had to hang it. I knew it wasn't going to fit on the grate, without hitting the rods that go into that smoker. So we strung that thing up like Superman. I had 4 hooks in it, and it looked like it was flying. I still got pictures somewhere. We should do a blog post.
We do.
It was ridiculous. But you know what I've never done, and I've always wanted to, because we do this with chickens all the time in our drum smoker, is we'll just cut them in half, run 1 hook right through the breastplate, and let them hang. You get a lot of drippings into the fire and that kind of chicken fat fog flavor that gets in there. And I never thought about doing it with the turkey, but I bet you could just cut it in half, cook it in 2 parts. It's going to get done faster. It's going to cook even.
Yep.
And Norman Rockwell just won't get his painting. That's all.
Yep. And here's more turkey on a drum love. Dustin over at Southern Char also cooking a Thanksgiving kids party tomorrow on the drum. Lots of drum love. Oh, okay. Mike, he's got a great attachment for hanging birds.
Is that one of those hangers where it's got 1 hook but kind of supports the whole? You string it right through the bird and it hangs on that. I've seen those and they really do look cool, but never got to try one. But hey, man, I got to say, everybody, it has been really flavorful and super fun putting this list together. We've been working on it all year, and as we're testing out these new seasonings, we usually have a good idea right away if it's a contender. Certainly by the time we get to that final stage in our testing process where we're cooking it on real food. And honestly, it gets harder and harder every year to settle on just 12 rubs. And that's truly just a testament to all of you makers and the amazing products that you've created over the years. So once again, thanks to everybody for tuning in tonight and then later on through the magic of streaming. And don't forget, every single one of this year's Essential Seasonings is on sale right now at Barbecue Pro Shop. Date check, it is November 19th. And get them while you can, because this sale ain't going to last forever. You can stuff them in those Christmas stockings, stuff them in your mouth, stuff them in that turkey, and have a great Thanksgiving, everybody.
But wait, before we go, in addition to the live stream, we are going to be doing some more social media later tonight, promoting all 12 of these amazing essential seasonings. So we're going to give you even more love on Facebook and on Instagram. We're going to tag the heck out of all you amazing flavor makers. So please, everyone, go ahead and give it a bunch of likes and loves and comments and shares to spread the love, spread the flavors, and spread the word about these amazing essential seasonings. And with that, good night, everyone. And thank you so much for joining this episode of Flavor Talk.
Yeah, Mike, Rick, Dan, Ken, everybody joining in. In the new year. And have a great night, everybody.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.
How? Let's get that juggling on.